Hello Periscope, welcome again. Today here we're with David Norris. He's our training director and we're talking about DPB licenses and why you need one. So David, what is a DPB license?
It's a good question. A lot of clients ask that. DPB stands for Designated Professional Body. So it's a license from your professional body, usually the Institute or the ACCA, and it allows firms to undertake certain specific investment business.
Okay, so I guess most firms don't get involved with like all this work normally. So why do they need them?
Yeah, you're right. The whole phrase investment business often puts people off, and so they think, right, I don't do selling of shares, I don't advise on investments, so why do I need a DPB license? Well, there's certain regulated areas firms can get sucked into, so it could be certain liaising with IFAs, dealing with IFAs, it could be corporate finance. So, I mean, if you think about it on the investment side, you might have a client that needs a will, might have some spare money, and you might want to refer them and might go further. You might introduce them to an IFA and say, look, please contact my client and see if you can help them. And so there's a danger you can go a bit further than just saying, yeah, you need an IFA. You can actually start bringing in the IFA to the relationship and helping them work with your client. And because the IFA may then produce some advice, and you may say, I don't think that's right, that's not tax efficient. And so as a firm, you want to be able to make some advice, some comments about the advice, rather than just having to walk away.
So, without a license, or if you're not regulated, can you give any sort of advice on that at all?
Well, you wouldn't give alternative advice. So even with a DPB license, you're not going to say to the firm, the IFA is wrong, I suggest you invest over here or do something differently, because that's not your job. As an accountant, your job is not to give alternative investment advice. But with a DPB license, you can say, look, that's wrong, you'd be better looking at something else, or you'd be better going in this area, go back to the IFA for the proper advice. So it just gives you a check if you think what the IFA is doing doesn't work for your client's situation or their tax planning.
Okay, so that's fair. So you also mentioned corporate finance. Okay, so how is that relevant to DPB license?
Yeah, well, strangely, corporate finance can get caught as well. So it's about shareholdings. If you've got a minority shareholder, there are cases in which you can act for them in terms of buying and selling businesses. So we see this quite often where you have a family, say, or husband and wife, when the spouse has a minority holding, say 25%, and then the main person that you deal with running the business, they have 75%. But in theory, there could be cases when you're buying businesses or selling businesses, you can't be advising that minority on the disposal of a minority shareholding. And that's going to be a bit rubbish. You want to advise your two clients, husband and wife, but without a DPB license, you can't advise that minority.
No, that's fair enough. So, like, are there any other points regarding any sort of news right now?
I mean, the DPB comes and goes, and once it's in place, the procedures that you need on average are not difficult, and so a lot of people have it and then forget about it. The only thing topical at the moment is auto-enrolments, and at SWAT we'd strongly advise firms to get a strategy for auto-enrolment if you haven't already done it. So one of the concerns with auto-enrolment is you can get sucked into advising on pension schemes and things like that. So I would say that while you can advise the employer what pension scheme to have without a DPB license, you certainly can't talk to the employees, and you can't liaise with an IFA properly without a DPB license. So firms just need to look ahead. How are they going to deal with auto-enrolment? Are they going to work with an IFA? Are they going to leave the clients to it? Are they going to get their PAYE department involved? And they need to think, how does my strategy relate to whether I've got a DPB license, and do I need to change that quickly?
Oh, that's great. So where can firms get more info on this?
Yeah, well, there's quite a lot of information on the Institute website, and I guess the ACCA is the same. So if you're an Institute member, there's some webinars and help sheets you can watch there, and they'll explain when you need a DPB license, and the actual underlying regulations are on the Institute website as well. So that's worth a look if you're unsure. We've got a technical helpline. You can email or ring the office and we'll be able to help. We've also got a DPB manual, so that gives you the rules, but also gives some useful forms and procedures to help you manage this kind of area. And of course, once you've got a manual, if you need file review help, then talk to us. We can certainly help advise as to whether it's working effectively for you in practice.
Great. That's really good information. Well, thanks, David, for coming along. We know how busy you are. Yeah, so thanks everyone for tuning in. If you just tuned in now, this is going to be on YouTube later. So tune in on YouTube as well. Thanks for joining us, guys. See you later. Bye-bye.